what I was reaching out to her for was because they were giving her hell.
Right.
And a lot of it was because she was a black woman.
Absolutely.
And I flat out, no denying it, I completely knew that, and I wanted to reach out and let her know that there was somebody there for her. And I sent her a note, and not expecting anything to come of it. And
Tyler Perry was not supposed to steal the spotlight at the 2025 BET Awards. The night was meant to be about celebrating the glitz, glamour, and viral moments in Hollywood. But what nobody saw coming was Perry, a Hollywood mogul known for his quiet demeanor and long-standing friendship with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, dropping a bombshell. Though his words were soft, they carried a sharp punch that cut through Meghan Markle's carefully curated public image. Back in 2020, when Harry and Meghan decided to step away from the royal family, Perry was the one who stepped up. He offered them the keys to his $18 million Beverly Hills mansion, paid their bills, covered their security, and essentially gave them a soft landing in America. To the public, it seemed like an act of friendship and generosity, but behind the scenes, what began as a friendly gesture slowly turned into a one-sided transaction that drained Perry emotionally and financially.
And she said, thank you so much, and that was it. And a couple of years later, we started talking, and she was able to talk. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because she shared it first.
Okay. Yeah.
And we were able to talk, and she was telling me some of the things that were going on. And I'm just so proud of where they are now, because I'm going to tell you something. Those two people love each other. I don't care what anybody says, I'm seeing it up close.
At the BET Awards, Perry took the mic and shared a story about offering someone his home, his help, and his heart, only to feel ghosted once they had what they needed. While Perry never named Meghan, his message was unmistakable. Some folks borrow blessings like they're owed but never return the favor, he said, and everyone who knew the backstory understood exactly who he was referring to. This wasn't the first time Perry had been frustrated by Meghan. Sources close to him revealed that the tipping point came when Meghan asked for access to his private jet. She presented it as a simple favor, but Perry, feeling used, declined. This set off a chain of events that revealed a growing pattern of entitlement. Those around Perry began warning him that Meghan didn't repay favors. Instead, she accumulated them like social currency and discarded people once they no longer served her narrative. Initially, Perry tried to be the supportive friend, but as the Netflix and Spotify deals rolled in, as the millions stacked up, and as gratitude stayed silent, Perry realized there was no intention to give back. His speech at the BET Awards wasn't just a tale of a disappointing friendship. It was a declaration that even the most generous people have their limits, and when they've been pushed far enough, they will stop being quiet. Meghan had built her brand on the image of a misunderstood woman, oppressed by the royal family. But Perry, as her friend, wasn't the monarchy. He was the person who had opened his doors without expecting anything in return. And when he called her out, it shifted the narrative. The audience at the BET Awards and the public online saw a different side of the fairy tale. The savior turned whistleblower. The quiet, soft-spoken mogul finally said enough was enough. The fallout was swift. Meghan and Harry had just started pitching a new documentary about power and freedom. But after Perry's public statement, investors began backing out. The trust was gone, and the carefully constructed illusion of their brand began to crack. Perry, being a well-respected figure in Hollywood, was not just anyone. His words carried weight, and the ripple effect was massive. Within hours of the BET Awards airing, a producer attached to Meghan and Harry's Netflix pitch withdrew their support. An investor who had already sat through 2 planning meetings made it clear. I don't want to be involved in something that feels this toxic. What had once been a hot ticket now looked like a red flag. Behind the scenes, Meghan's PR team scrambled, trying to reframe the narrative. They worked to paint Perry as bitter, claiming he misunderstood Meghan's intentions. They offered exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and even floated the idea of a podcast rebuttal. But it backfired. The more they pushed, the more people wondered what they were trying to cover up. Perry's actions struck a nerve, and soon, others started speaking out. People who had worked with Meghan described a toxic environment where loyalty was demanded but never returned. A former assistant claimed Meghan controlled every narrative and punished anyone who questioned her decisions. Even Oprah's circle, once close to Meghan, began distancing themselves. The silence spoke volumes. Meghan's once untouchable image started to unravel. What had been her carefully constructed persona of a victim of royal cruelty and a feminist icon was now being questioned by those who had worked with her firsthand. The backlash was brutal, and it didn't stop at her reputation. It began to impact her finances. Netflix, once a major backer, began re-evaluating its commitment to the Sussexes. Several projects at Archwell were paused, and the foundation's financial future began to look uncertain. What had once been a shining empire was now surrounded by hesitation and damage control. Through all of this, Harry remained mostly silent. Whether he's trying to salvage their public image or simply exhausted from years of battles, he stayed on the sidelines as Meghan's empire crumbled. Tyler Perry's speech wasn't loud or angry. It didn't need to be. His words were quiet, but they were honest, and that's what made them so impactful. They exposed not just a single moment, but a recurring pattern. And in Hollywood, where reputation is everything, this was a game changer. Meghan Markle had learned the hard way that even royalty can be exiled twice, once from the crown and now from the culture.